Welcome back, everyone. Today we're taking a deep dive into the world of personality types,
Oh,
specifically the ISTP.
okay.
And we'll be using 2 articles from the Spiritual Seek as our guide.
Sounds good.
For those unfamiliar, ISTP is often referred to as the mechanic or the crafter.
Right. It's actually a lesser-known personality type.
Is it?
Yeah, it is.
Okay. Well, let's unpack it then, shall we?
Sure.
So to start, what does ISTP stand for?
ISTP stands for introverted, sensing, thinking, perceiving.
Okay.
Each letter represents a core preference that shapes how an ISTP interacts with the world.
So how do those preferences, how do they work together?
Well, for example, their introversion,
Yeah.
it doesn't necessarily mean they're shy.
Okay.
It's more about, how they process information and recharge.
Got it.
They gain energy from solitude rather than large social gatherings.
That makes a lot of sense. So, I guess it's not just about being introverted or extroverted,
Yeah.
but rather how those tendencies kind of influence their overall behavior.
Precisely.
Okay.
The articles describe ISTPs as pragmatic explorers, drawn to understanding, the mechanics of the world around them.
So they're the kind of people who would rather take something apart to see how it works
Exactly.
than just read the instructions.
Think of a mechanic tinkering with an engine or a programmer dissecting code.
Yeah.
They have this innate drive to understand the why behind the what.
Yeah, I can see that. That practical, hands-on approach
Yes,
seems to be a defining characteristic.
it is. And this thirst for knowledge extends beyond just mechanics.
Okay.
ISTPs are often drawn to adventure and new experiences.
The articles mention things like motorcycle, skydiving,
Right.
and surfing
Mm-hmm.
as examples.
Yes.
Yeah, it seems like there's a need for constant stimulation.
Yes.
Almost a sense of pushing boundaries.
Yes, and that ties into their strong sense of independence. ISTPs value autonomy and freedom, which is why they often dislike rigid rules and structures.
Right.
They prefer to forge their own path
Yeah,
and make their own decisions.
makes sense. Which, might explain why traditional work environments can feel stifling for them.
That's a good point. They thrive in environments where they have the space to explore, experiment, and problem solve independently.
Now, the articles also delve into the thinking versus feeling aspect of the ISTP personality.
Yes.
They tend to prioritize logic and objectivity over emotional considerations.
It's not that they lack emotions,
Right.
but they process them differently.
Okay.
They prefer to make decisions based on facts and impartial judgment rather than personal values or feelings.
So they might come across as detached or unemotional,
It's possible.
even if that's not their intention.
They're not usually outwardly expressive with their emotions,
Yeah.
which can lead to, misunderstandings, particularly in relationships.
It's interesting because one of the articles mentioned that while ISTPs are generally calm and collected, they can have emotional outbursts under extreme stress.
Yeah. It's like a pressure cooker.
Okay.
They internalize their emotions until they reach a boiling point.
Right.
This makes it even more important for them to develop, healthy coping mechanisms for managing stress.
And to have people around them who understand that,
Absolutely.
this aspect of their personality and can provide support.
It's about finding a balance between their need for independence and their ability to connect with others on an emotional level.
So we've talked about their practical nature, their adventurous side,
Yes.
and their logical approach to decision-making.
Yeah.
Now, what about their strengths and challenges? The articles, highlight both sides of the coin, so to speak.
Right. Their logical thinking, practical skills, adaptability, and independence are all definite strengths.
Okay.
They're incredibly resourceful, especially in crisis situations.
So they sound like the kind of people you'll want around when things go wrong.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They can think on their feet, analyze situations quickly, and come up with solutions that others might miss.
But like any personality type, there are also potential challenges.
Of course. Their logical approach, while a strength, can sometimes make it difficult for them to express emotions or understand the emotional needs of others.
So it's not that they don't care.
No.
It's more about how they process and express their feelings.
Exactly.
And their need for constant stimulation can sometimes lead to boredom and risk-taking behavior.
That's right.
So it's about finding healthy outlets for that energy and drive.
That's key. They need to find challenges that engage their minds and allow them to, push their boundaries in a safe and constructive way.
One of the articles shared an interesting point
Yeah.
about ISTPs potentially struggling with self-worth if they judge themselves solely on their performance in tasks they find difficult.
It's important for them to remember that everyone has, strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah.
And that struggling with something doesn't diminish their value or potential.
So self-awareness and self-compassion are crucial for
Absolutely.
their overall well-being.
It's about recognizing their limitations, celebrating their strengths, and finding a path that aligns with their unique abilities and passions.
It sounds like finding the right career path is particularly important for ISTPs.
It is. The articles suggest that they're often drawn to careers that offer independence, hands-on work, and opportunities to solve problems.
Things like carpentry, computer programming,
Right.
engineering, firefighting, mechanics, and even piloting were mentioned as examples.
Quite a diverse range.
Yeah. What unites them is this focus on tangible results and the ability to work independently.
Yeah.
They're not likely to thrive in a rigid corporate environment with lots of red tape.
Not unless they find a way to, carve out their own niche within that structure.
Yeah.
Perhaps by specializing in a technical area or leading a team focused on innovation.
Speaking of relationships, the articles also touch on the dynamics of ISTPs in personal relationships.
They value their independence and need a partner who understands and respects that.
So someone who's equally independent and doesn't need, constant reassurance or attention.
Exactly. Someone who enjoys exploring the world, trying new things, and can appreciate those moments, when the ISTP needs to retreat into their own world to recharge.
Yeah. It's about finding a partner who complements their personality rather than trying to change it.
Precisely. A relationship built on mutual respect, trust, and a shared sense of adventure is key for an ISTP. It sounds like open communication is crucial in any relationship with ISTP.
Being able to express their needs and expectations clearly and having a partner who's willing to listen and understand, can make all the difference. It's fascinating how these personality traits play out in different aspects of life.
It is, and it highlights the importance of self-awareness, not just for ISTPs, but for everyone. Understanding our own strengths and weaknesses allows us to, navigate relationships, careers, and life in general more effectively.
Absolutely. It's like having a roadmap to your own personality, helping you understand your motivations and how you interact with the world. So as we wrap up our deep dive into the ISTP personality, what are some key takeaways for our listener? What makes this personality type so unique?
Well, I think one of the defining characteristics is their incredible practicality. They're the doers, the problem solvers, the ones who can fix anything.
They're drawn to understanding how things work.
Yeah.
And they're not afraid to get their hands dirty in the process.
Exactly. They have a natural curiosity and a thirst for knowledge, which often leads them to explore new experiences and push their own boundaries.
And while they might appear reserved or detached at times, they have a deep inner world and a strong sense of loyalty to those they care about.
It's important to remember that their preference for logic and objectivity doesn't mean they're emotionless. They simply process emotions differently.
And they might need a little more space and understanding when it comes to expressing those emotions.
Right. It's about respecting their need for independence and appreciating the unique strengths they bring to the table.
Their ability to think critically, analyze situations calmly, and come up with practical solutions is invaluable, especially in challenging situations.
They're the ones you want on your team when things go wrong.
Absolutely. So for our listener out there who might be an ISTP or knows someone who is, hopefully this deep dive has provided some insights into this fascinating personality type.
It's about understanding their motivations, their strengths, and the challenges they might face, and appreciating the unique perspective they bring to the world.
And for those who aren't ISTPs, it's a chance to broaden your understanding of different personality styles and how they interact.
Ultimately, it's about fostering empathy and building stronger connections with the people around us.
Well said. Now, before we sign off, I have a final thought-provoking question for our listener. Imagine you had the opportunity to step into the shoes of an ISTP for a day. What activity would you choose to do, and how do you think you would approach it differently than you normally would?
Would you be drawn to a hands-on project, a challenging puzzle, or perhaps an outdoor adventure that pushes you out of your comfort zone?
It's an interesting exercise to consider how different personality types might approach the same situation. It can help us develop a deeper understanding of ourselves and the people around us.
And who knows, you might even discover a hidden talent or passion you never knew you had.
So there you have it, our deep dive into the world of the ISTP personality. We encourage you to continue exploring this topic and learning more about the incredible diversity of human personality.
Remember, self-awareness is a journey, not a destination. The more we understand ourselves and others, the richer and more meaningful our connections become.
Until next time, keep exploring and keep learning.
It's a great way to, challenge our own assumptions and broaden our perspectives.
Exactly. And who knows, you might even find yourself drawn to a new hobby or skill that you never would have considered before. It's all about embracing the unknown and being open to new possibilities.
Well, I think we've covered a lot of ground today.
Yeah.
From the practical to the adventurous, and even delved into the emotional depths of the ISTP personality.
We've explored their strengths, their challenges, and the unique way they navigate the world.
Hopefully our listener has gained a deeper understanding of this often misunderstood personality type.
And perhaps even a newfound appreciation for the quiet strength and unwavering logic that ISTPs bring to the table.
They're the ones who can fix a broken engine, build a house from scratch, or calmly assess a crisis situation and come up with a solution when everyone else is panicking.
They're the tinkerers, the innovators, the ones who are always pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
And while they might not always be the most expressive with their emotions, they're deeply loyal to those they care about and have a strong sense of integrity. It's been a fascinating exploration, and I encourage our listeners to continue learning about personality types and the incredible diversity of human experience.
Absolutely. There's so much to discover, both about ourselves and the people around us. So until next time, keep those minds curious, those hearts open, and those conversations flowing.
And never stop exploring the fascinating world of human nature.